Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be aboard the Titanic? I'm going to tell you where you can find out coming up.
New animals at the zoo.
And political animals calling each other names.
Stick around, GV10 News is next. Good morning, Grand Valley. I'm Matt Martella.
And I'm Dan Spatafora.
It was National Eating Disorder Awareness Week at the end of February.
The GVSU Women's Center held events to raise awareness about the disorders. Sarah DeCann is here to tell us more.
Thanks, guys. According to the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders, 25% of college-aged women engage in binging and purging as a weight management technique. I was able to speak with a GVSU senior who was willing to talk about her struggles with self-body image and eating disorders.
I moved here in the middle of my senior year, and it was rough on me because I had no friends coming into this new high school, and there were so many different cliques that I really didn't know how I would fit in, and that he had struggled with self-image issues. So going into that, I was trying to lose weight almost instantly, and then cut down on eating just through high school. And then as I got into college and having to struggle with those same kind of issues, I would resort to different medications that would hinder the urge to eat. I was really excited to find out that the Women's Center was focusing on the positives of loving your body and not the negatives of eating disorders, because I understand that it's very difficult to go through something like that where you feel like your body is not perfect and not up to like how you want it to be and how society portrays how you should look.
The Women's Center called it Love Your Body Week. It focused on enhancing both men and women's self-body image as well as improving overall body satisfaction. An art exhibit called I Am Human was held that showed how people express the love of their body. A pair of jeans was also at every event to be signed with words of encouragement.
It's not just people that have eating disorders or have body issues. Everyone across the board feels this way, and so this way we're trying to just allow people to feel comfortable in their own jeans.
The whole purpose of Love Your Body Week was to work against body image distortion, a root cause of eating disorders. Though the Women's Center staff was a little disappointed with the turnout of the events, their message was loud and clear throughout campus, and this is an issue that is very prominent in our society today.
Do they mention how many people on campus actually have the disorder?
One study said that 91% of college-aged women have stated using some sort of dieting technique or weight management.
You also mentioned it's not just women. Did you see any men?
Actually, no. I saw no men at the events whatsoever. I think that men are a little bit more reserved about this issue still.
Very emotional story. Thank you, Sarah.
While many students at Grand Valley relaxed during spring break, one fraternity was busy making a difference. 14 guys from the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity chapter at Grand Valley State University strapped on their walking shoes and hiked from GVSU's campus to Traverse City, Michigan to raise money for multiple sclerosis. The group raised over $15,000 during their 160-mile trek. The men stayed all but one night at churches along the way. Now the fraternity brothers are working to get more walkers for next year and continue their partnership with the MS Society to help find a cure.
There are new rules for campus student organizations on how they manage funding for field trips. In recent hearing, the Student Senate Finance Committee decided on eliminating gasoline expense from its $50,000 a year budget. The decision comes after a spike in gasoline prices and problems with reimbursing students for travel.
What we were finding in the funding hearings is it was just taking a lot of time to kind of figure out how much will gas actually cost on a trip, and then the real nightmare came when students were trying to get reimbursed.
The budget will still reimburse organizations for expenses such as airfare, along with lodging and vehicle rentals.
And coming up, we'll tell you about some tough new rules Allendale Public Schools are going to be enforcing.
And Marvis Herring has weather. Stay tuned.
We had to spring our clocks forward an hour this week, but we won't be jumping into spring weather. I'm Marvis Herring. I'll have your weather forecast coming up.
A warning to sex offenders. Security measures at Allendale Public Schools provide instant background checks with the quick scan of a driver's license. The program works with the National Sex Offenders Registry, and if there's a red flag, the system emails all staff with information. The process takes less than a minute, and with security cameras also watching, the doors can be locked quickly from the main office. Lions, tigers, and a new bear exhibit made their debut on the March 1st at the annual opening of the John Ball Zoo. The bear exhibit is set to welcome 2 grizzlies with an updated habitat. Marketing Director Chris Byland says the new look will allow visitors to get nose to snout with the bears.
It used to be that you were looking at the bears across a moat, and this year it's going to be glass in between you and the bear. So at the most you could be 5 inches away from the face of the bear, which will be a really great experience. That's the female.
The new creatures include a new male otter and a female mountain lion. Byland says many animals are not in the zoo yet because of the cold temperatures, but all the furry and feathery friends are in the Tropic Building and the aquarium ready for visitors.
Senator John McCain had some sharp words for Michigan Congressman Justin Amash. The former presidential candidate called Amash and other GOP congressmen wacko birds. Things boiled over after a disagreement between the two over the military use of drone aircraft and the vote for new CIA Director John Brennan. Known for being outspoken on Twitter, Amash released this statement. "Bravo, Senator, you got us. Did you come up with that at #dinnerwithbarack?" McCain said he believes Amash sheds a bad light on the Republican Party. Well, if you spent your spring break here in West Michigan last week, you still were able to soak in some of nature's vitamin D for a couple days. Marvis Herring is here with the weather, and please tell me, Marvis, that you have some good news for this upcoming week.
You know what, Matt? Unfortunately, it's not that great of news, but we did get to see the sun quite a bit last week, but things got a little bit less sunny on Sunday when that deep flow of moisture came up from the Chicago area, leaving the West Michigan area pretty wet. That trend is going to continue throughout the week, and you can see behind me that this shot of campus is looking a little bit gloomy outside, a little bit wet and foggy. But although temperatures did remain relatively moderate on Sunday, that deep moisture flow that moved through that evening on Monday evening dropped temperatures down to the 30s, and it looks like it's going to be like that for the rest of the week. Those freezing temperatures will allow any leftover rain showers to transition into the white fluffy stuff. That's right, around midweek, around this time, we may see some snow. Currently, it's 36 degrees in Grand Rapids, 36 in Holland, and 37 over in Kalamazoo. Here's your 5-day forecast. We will stay in the upper 30s all week until Saturday, where we may climb into the 40s with partly cloudy skies. However, we may end the weekend with our front lawn frosted with snow, and we'll even experience some partly cloudy skies and possible snow flurries today. You know, it's getting down to that spring, winter time, and today we actually only have a 30% chance of snow, but it's still kind of a...
There's still that chance. Now, I was getting really excited because last week, you know, like the spring was here, it was warm, I was loving it, the sun was out. I mean, what happened?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's still pretty warm in comparison. I mean, Grand Rapids is about 11 inches under the typical snowfall. And I mean, Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, came out and he predicted spring to come early, so it may just be coming early.
After all, hey, that'd be awesome.
I know, I would definitely enjoy it since I didn't get to go on a spring break this year.
Well, thanks so much, Marvis.
No problem.
All aboard the RMS Titanic. Hundreds of visitors today are filing into the Grand Rapids Museum for their chance to celebrate the ship's 100th anniversary. Jessica Smith has more.
It's a worldwide thing. Everyone knows about the Titanic, regardless of where you come from. But to actually see the artifacts in an exhibition, stunning.
The Titanic exhibition draws people like Maria Morris back in time and takes them on a journey. Visitors tour 5 galleries with more than 100 artifacts scattered throughout the exhibit.
People are just really excited to be able to see these authentic artifacts that have been conserved from 2.5 miles beneath the ocean surface for almost 100 years, and to be able to see the real thing. It's just, in the digital age where we're all so used to seeing a lot of things that are virtual, to see the real thing is really exciting for people.
The galleries include everything from the menus served for each class to replica living quarters. Visitors will find a variety of artifacts that belong to the ship and the passengers, from shoes to cooking utensils. Tourist Maria Morris says the information gives visitors a better understanding of the tragic story.
We've seen movies, photos, read books. This is just brings together all those things, but there were so many things that I didn't know.
Tourists learn about the ship's construction and even get to feel the coldness of the iceberg that sunk the Titanic. Details about the passengers and crew cover the walls, bringing the event to life through human stories.
Everybody is familiar with that time period and the sinking of Titanic, and everybody sort of has their own idea about what happened. So for us to be able to share authentic artifacts and the real story of Titanic, it's unbelievable.
After touring the exhibit, visitors discovered that it was a perfect storm of factors that brought down what was once to be believed an unsinkable ship. In Grand Rapids, I'm Jessica Smith, GV10 News.
Weekend ticket numbers are sinking faster than the Titanic itself, and to keep up with the pace, the museum is having extra hours to 9 o'clock on weekdays.
Stick around, more GV10 News including sports, plus a story from our own Martez Williams coming up.
Online daters, it's a new mobile dating trend that's taking over. Find out how you can be a part of this new way of coupling up.
In Meridian Township near Lansing, a new park millage proposal is in the works for 2014. Nearly 30 years ago, voters first supported a park millage of $500,000 annually. Since then, it's been renewed over 4 times. Officials say more money is needed for new improvements.
There's been a zero fund balance for parks since 2007, I think. And so we've been in a planning mode, and people have been excited about things we talk about, but there's no action because there's no money.
The cost of maintenance and improvements over the next 4 years totals $15 million and includes paved trails and a new dog park.
It was a crazy week in sports and also the week before the conference tournament. Jordan Bourne is here to tell us more.
Thanks, Dan. It was a brutal finish for the Big Ten Championship, coming down to 4 teams fighting for first place. And we will get to those great finishes coming up. But first, we take it to the ice, where the Columbus Blue Jackets visit the Joe Louis Arena. After a scoreless first period, the Jackets' Derek Brazzard lights the lamp with a rocket past Jimmy Howard, score 1-0 Jackets. Next, Ryan Johansson of the Jackets is turned away by Howard, but R.J. Umberger takes the rebound, blasts it home. Score remains 2-2 for most of the third period. And after a scoreless overtime, we go to a shootout. The score is 1-1 in the shootout. Matt Calvert of the Jackets, looking for his first shootout goal, gets it with some great moves and strong backhand finish. Wings lose it 3-2. So now it's time for the hard court and what some are calling the best conference in college basketball. That's the Big Ten. We first take it to East Lansing.
1 for 6 from 3.
Between Northwestern, MSU running Denzel Valentine with the lob to Adrian Payne for the slam. Again, Valentine drives, leaves it to Adrian. Bring the pain for the two-handed throwdown. Spartans up 13-5. Northwestern hanging tough after trailing by double digits most of the game. Mike Turner makes a nice bounce pass to Cale Abrahamson for the layup. Score tied at 53. MSU goes on an 8-0 run, and Keith Apley goes between 2 defenders to get into the lane and elevates for the jam. Spartans win it 71-61 for second place in the Big Ten. And now for the big one in Ann Arbor, Michigan looking for a share of the Big Ten title with a win, and Indiana looking for its first outright conference championship since '93. Indiana up 1 in the second half. Cody Zeller gets the ball on the block, works it into the lane for the lay-in, now 60-57 IU. Christian Watford of Indiana puts up the air ball, but Victor Oladipo is there for the acrobatic lay-in. Trey Burke now creates some space, gets the roll as the game-tying jumper goes down, now tied at 66. Kevin Farrell of Indiana finds Zeller down low. He goes up strong for the go-ahead lay-in. Zeller finished with 25 points. Score now 72-71 IU. Here we go, watch this. For the win, watch. Burke goes to the rim, lay-in, but he misses it. The putback ball hangs on the rim, won't go down. Indiana hangs on for the upset in Ann Arbor for the win, 72-71. IU claims their first outright conference win for the first time in 2 decades. So Dan, with that win from IU, it knocked the other 3 teams out of contention for the first place, and those teams are Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State.
Jordan, you're a State fan. I'm a Michigan fan. Would you say this is the first time ever you've rooted for Michigan?
You know, I was literally saying go blue, but they blew it for me. So
it's been a crazy year. What's the tournament look like?
Well, the 4 teams that are seeded the highest in the Big Ten are going to be Indiana in first, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Michigan State have all taken 4th place. And honestly, I could see all 4 of those teams being in the Final Four, or at least 4 Big Ten teams.
He's Jordan Bourne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perhaps it was just a matter of time, but online dating appears to be going mobile. That's right, there are apps for finding love on your smartphone. Our own Martez Williams has the latest.
eHarmony, Match.com, and even Facebook have been the main source of online dating. But there's a new app that's sparking things up, and its name is Tinder. And Tinder is sending mobile users in a dating frenzy.
Nice app, and especially due to the fact that that you can't even message a person until they like you back. So if I don't want to talk to someone, I don't have to.
This app allows you to find single people in your area within 50 to 100 miles. It matches people based off your Facebook account, people with common friends and interests. If there is a connection, you can like or pass to the next person.
I didn't really know how to use it, but a lot of my other friends in classes were talking about it, like, oh my gosh, did you get this? I got a match.
Match.com unveiled Tinder back in October and demonstrated demos on different college campuses. The app has made more than 15 million matches with 1.5 billion profile ratings and more than 60% of their users logging in every day.
Different generations might have met at school, church, or even at parties. But adults from this generation like Tinder because of this fast mobile-to-mobile interaction. With hundreds of dates in the palm of your hand, a connection could be made. In Allendale, I'm Martez Williams.
You know, I really think she's a cutie, man.
Oh, she's smoking, man.
Yeah, you should hit her up. Well, that'll do it for us here at GV10 News. I'm Matt Martella.
And I'm Dan Spadafora. Have a good week, Grand Valley. Appropriate.